Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today we got another part of the disturbing part of the internet series. We go get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Comment what you think down below. This is volume 10. Let's go. One more thing I want to add. Please hit the like button, and I really want to think. I haven't had a video hit 1,000 views in a year, and I want to see it happen again. So help me get there. We can do it. Just hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for me. Alright.
Hey and welcome to the 10th episode of this format. This may be the longest video I've made for this series. I have a lot of topics for this one. I have a few very quick announcements to make. If you don't care, feel free to skip ahead. I just want to quickly talk about my last video. I was really considering to just re-upload it, but decided against it. The video was just not really getting pushed out in recommendations, even though the video was fully monetized. No idea why, but if you haven't seen that video, you need to go out of your way to go on my channel and click on the video. I also made a second channel now where I'll upload similar and also different content. There should be a few videos already available on there. Check it out and maybe it will be to your liking. The second channel also serves as a backup. Lastly, I dropped a Patreon exclusive video on disturbing Vol.10 posts a while ago, and I plan on dropping more content on there. So if you aren't a patron yet, maybe consider becoming one. It's literally just $2 per month, and you get access to pretty much everything I offer on there. Without
You got rid of that channel. I just looked it up. It doesn't. The channel's there's no videos on it at all.
further ado, don't forget to sub to the channel, and let's dive into the first topic.
Uber driver's final moments.
Hi, Renea. How are you today?
The footage you're seeing right now depict the final moments of Christy Spicusa's life. The video is very dark, so you might not have actually caught what's going on. The guy in the back wears a ski mask thanks to a policy from Uber, which requires clients to wear a mask. As a driver, you have no way of telling if the client is covering their face because of the policy, or because they actually want to do harm.
Ooh, now that they brought that up, that's a bad concern. Cause that's a bad concern in that situation, cause you have to wear a mask in general. You had to wear a mask in general. So you had no idea if someone was actually meant to cause you harm or was in danger or you were fine. That actually probably was a good concern for Uber drivers and them to have.
While this causes no problems in most circumstances, it was more than obvious that this rule would eventually be exploited by deranged and rotten individuals. The suspect in the car is 22-year-old Calvin Crew, who exploited this ruling to his advantage to fully disguise himself and take Christy's life. In the beginning, you can hear Christy asking if the ride is for Tanaya. Tanaya is Calvin's girlfriend. My speculation is that he let his girlfriend call an Uber so he can maintain his disguise. This is still odd though, since this easily can be linked back to him, but maybe he didn't think that far. Interestingly, the
Good point. That's another good point. So his girlfriend called the Uber for him in her name. So that would have just gone right back to her. That's a weird choice. That's a dumb choice.
The address that Christy needed to drive to was an abandoned house. So this was definitely calculated and planned by Calvin to a large extent. Now we come to the most shocking part of the dashcam footage. Almost 20 minutes into the ride, Calvin checks the surrounding area to make sure no one is following. After this, he leans forward and pulls his gun out, saying the following.
I'm sorry? You've got to be careful. What are you doing? No, it's not. Stop. Come on, man.
I'm sorry, her response of, no, it's not, stop. What are you doing? Stop. Don't do it. No, what are you doing?
I got a family. What are you
I got a
doing?
family too, Dad.
Please
I
stop.
have the phone.
Why are you doing this? Please stop. Please, I'm begging you. I have 4 kids. What are you doing?
While this happened, he took her phone and ripped off the dashcam. The recording abruptly ends. Later, Christy was found in a wooded area with a single gunshot wound in the back of her head. Christy left behind 4 children and her fiancé. Due to the very recent nature of this...
Why? What was his reasoning? What was his reasoning for doing it, is my question. Like, why did he feel the need to take this girl's life for it? Because it's very bizarre, because it seems like his goal the whole time was to take her life. Also, why did he get a... Like, how did he know he was... Is it just whoever he got, or is it just happened to be that he specifically wanted a female driver so he could get... There's so many questions I have here that I'm not going to get the answers to.
This case, it's unclear what type of punishment Calvin will face. It's
Life in prison. Guaranteed.
team started to GoFundMe with the purpose of covering her memorial fund. While the goal of $30K have been reached for the memorial, everything above that will be going to her fiancé and her 4 children. If you feel like donating, do so by visiting her GoFundMe. She was the main provider for her family, so it would be a very meaningful donation.
I'll admit, straight honest, if she's an Uber driver, I don't know how she is the main income getter. Because let's be honest here, right? Uber drivers and cab drivers don't really make shit. Don't make shit. So I don't know how she was the main income getter, if that was her job. Just straight honesty here.
So I've talked a lot about stalkers already on this channel, but never about stalkers that appear on a live stream. There's a weird phenomenon going on right now where more and more streamers, especially female streamers, are complaining about being harassed by stalkers. Sometimes this happens live on their stream. Today I want to take a look at a few select cases.
Yeah, so you'll never see a man have to deal with this, because a man will handle his business. Now most will. There was a few cases where weird people go up on... Nah, but they usually end up... Again, the man will handle the situation. You rarely ever see it where a man is being followed and harassed on stream, because the man will just handle it. They'll tell him to go away or handle it the right way. But, I mean, there might be cases of it happening that I'm just wrong at. But you rarely see it with men. It's usually always with women. And it's messed up that men think they can just go over and harass a woman just because they feel like it. Like, that's so dumb.
First one is from a streamer named JDN. While her streams are in English,
I know this one. I don't remember what. I think it was Twitch Stalkers. It was a tough video. But we went over this one. We know this one. This is the girl who's faked a call. The stalker faked a call and said that he had her dad captive. And if she didn't flash the camera, he would kill her. Or kill him. It wasn't true, and it was revealed not to be the case. But it's fucking insane that to go that route just to get... You sad little fuck you are if you go down that route because you're so desperate for that to happen. Like, fuck off.
she seems to be native German, and the interaction with her stalker is also in German. Since I'm a native German as well, I'll show you the following clip with translated subtitles.
Oh wait, my dad is calling. Hold on. Hallo, Papa. Wie bitte? Wer bist du?
Now, listen, I don't want to be the guy that blames her for this. Okay, that's misplaced. I don't want to blame her for this at all. She had nothing to, it's not her fault. What I will say is this. How were you not suspicious of this right away? I don't want to be the guy that says something, but if the moment you because no one's gonna kidnap your father while watching your stream. It's not gonna happen. We know it's not gonna, because that's just not gonna happen. So, what you're supposed to do, what you should have done, is you should have had, should have immediately been suspicious right away.
Wie bitte?
Before I comment on this, let's watch the follow-up to this one.
Hallo. Ich habe eben einen Anruf erhalten, dass jemand meinen Vater gefesselt hat und ihm die Kehle durchschneide, wenn ich meine Brüste nicht zeige online. Und hat sich herausgestellt, dass der Mann nicht mit meinem Vater ist und dass mein Vater sicher ist. Aber ich wollte fragen, ob Sie herausfinden können, woher die Nummer kommt.
This is disturbing. Like, that's just, that planning is disturbing. That plan is fucked up. And if you did that, you're fucked up. You're messed up. You need help. Okay? You need help if you did that. Because there's no logical sense in what you're doing. That's not funny. That's not, it doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you tough. It doesn't make you anything what you did to this girl. You're a dumbass. Is what you are. You're a sick, perverted dumbass. You're a sick, perverted fuck. Who deserves to rot for what you did.
And so obviously the number was spoofed. That's why she thought it's her father calling. It's basically someone masquerading as a trusted person to deceive an individual. In this case, he changed the number on the display to that of her father, but he never was in contact with him, and she acted accordingly by calling the police and reporting it. Nevertheless, such an experience is truly traumatic.
Yeah.
That some random loser on the internet is able to use this type of technology, which really isn't complicated at all to use, to mentally deteriorate the mental health of a person that he doesn't even know personally is completely insane.
It is 100% completely insane. Like, absolutely fucking insane.
Going away from indoor streaming to outdoor streaming. There are two cases that I found very interesting. First one comes from a streamer called Eligato. At the time of the stream, she was in Japan just walking around. Suddenly, a man approaches her and this happens.
Look at this guy, okay? Let's look at this guy. The guy behind her, right? He looks like a sick man, doesn't he? He looks like a sick dude. Like, there's such a weirdness and messed up type look about him, isn't there? He looks like a guy that do something quite pervertedly off.
Apple League, this is day 21. This guy, whoa, what are you doing? Sorry. Whoa, is he just like trying to, He just started following me. And then trying to like, oh my god, I feel so disgusted right now.
As she was minding her own business, a loser came up to her. He even takes a look at the phone or stream setup and still is convinced that it's a good idea to grope her while everyone else is watching. It's also crazy how he just casually walks off, like, it doesn't seem to be his first time doing this in public.
The guy doesn't even care. The guy doesn't care because he knows no one's gonna say anything, no one's gonna do anything. No one cares, no one's gonna get involved. It's insane. No one's gonna do anything. And he knows it, so he just does it.
It was definitely good that she didn't just stay silent and instead screamed at him, saying in Japanese, "Don't touch me." Sometimes people are in so much shock that they cannot even properly react to the situation. The last one that I want to talk about comes from a streamer named I'm Jasmine, and she definitely just froze when this happened to her. So this streamer was actually harassed numerous times on stream. In this video,
I'm gonna say, this girl, I remember this one. This is the one who just keeps, like, it happens multiple times. Listen, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. Look, Jasmine, I'm gonna speak to you like a thing. You just gotta punch some people. Listen, you just gotta punch someone. You just gotta knock someone out. It's just the thing you gotta do. It happened up, you just gotta lay someone out, and once you lay them out, trust me, they ain't gonna bother you no more. Because they know you'll knock the shit out of them if you do. You just gotta, at some point, just punch one of them in the face. Then probably all of them are gonna be on here. I'm gonna feel like you probably could have punched them and they would have deserved it.
however, I only want to show one incident, arguably the most terrifying one.
Okay.
The guy here in the following clip is really weird. Let's have a look.
Love after arrest, you think? What do you think I can do? I feel like I'm safer when I'm with you guys. About you guys? There's... Hello? Hello?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you could have hit him. Oh, you could have punched him. Oh, you could have. I don't even care that people are like, I'm encouraging violence. You're damn right I'm encouraging violence. Knock him out. Lay him out in the middle of the street. He ain't gonna do anything. He ain't gonna do a damn thing. You know why he ain't gonna do a damn thing? Because there's video evidence that shows him being a creepy little weirdo. So he ain't gonna say anything. He got knocked out. She defend herself. Just knock him the fuck out.
Oh. Hello. Thank you so much. Oh.
Eventually, she manages to escape.
Anonymous has just donated 66.6.
That was smart. That was smart. I don't know who did. So, because in some streams, you can send in voice that actually is a voice recorder, right? That sends in audio. So what someone did was do one of a woman screaming. So he would back away. That is smart. I don't know who did that because I don't think it was her, but that was smart.
Interestingly, only a few minutes after the incident, she was able to somewhat process the entire situation.
Does he think that's okay to do? I don't even understand. Sorry, I'm just like...
There's how mobile. Listen, I'm telling you, Jasmine, just knock them out. Just start fighting. Just start fighting. Just kick him in his nuts. Kick him right in the penis. The man got him. That'll take him down instantly. You ain't gonna get much information after that. They're gonna kick nuts. They ain't gonna be much of a threat to you afterwards.
I'm just overwhelmed. It's fine. I'll cry about everything. Oh yeah, let's just go. Round one. I want to be able to like stream it myself and be okay, not like leave and then 5 minutes later someone touches me weirdly, like all the time.
Even if the stalker couldn't understand the language, why did he even go up to a random woman on the street and constantly touches her? There's just no argument to be made to justify this type of behavior.
No.
This one was recommended by a viewer on my subreddit, and it's something that I've also previously seen and did my research into. I think some of you also saw this footage before. It's a very strange and very mysterious case. It dates back to 2012, and there's raw footage of 4 men getting casually executed at sea. And the interesting part is that there is basically no information on this. Police don't know who did it, what their motives were, or who the victims are. Nearly a decade later, and their bodies remain untraceable. There's just no lead or any trace of anything. Well, until now. After a bit of digging, I managed to find a fairly recent article on this case, which unravels a lot of information. I'll mainly refer to an article from the Washington Post here, which...
Alrighty, this one's interesting to me. What information you got for us?
Gathered a lot of very interesting and new aspects on this case.
Okay.
In the footage, we can see helpless men in the open water, clinging to floating rubble, tossed by the ocean waves, and several large fishing ships circle around the men. None of the men in the water have life jackets, and no one makes a move to help them. One man in the water raises his arms over his head, palms open, in what looks like an attempt to surrender. Now, one man on the ship shouts in Mandarin, "Fire, fire, fire." One round of bullets catches one man and the water turns red. In total, they appear to fire 40 rounds. What's even more disgusting, the perpetrators start laughing and pose for photos. When I first saw the footage, it honestly felt completely surreal that such disgusting human beings even exist. Back then, I was extremely curious as to what the backstory to this whole ordeal is, but there were no answers. In total, 4 men were slaughtered like this in the open Indian Ocean. In 2020, authorities in Taiwan have arrested one of the suspects, a 43-year-old Chinese national who they believe is the man who shouted the orders to take one of the victims' life. The police now hopes that they can track the other suspects down. There are so many issues with crimes taking place on open sea. There were at least 4 longliner ships on the scene of the incident. There is no law that requires the witnesses to report the crime, so no one did. You might argue that it's common sense to report this, and you would be right, but these people have no consequences to fear, so they don't care. Also, if it weren't for a cell phone that was left in a taxi in Fiji, an island in Oceania, the authorities would have never known of this crime in the first place.
True.
Keep in mind that the footage was initially found in 2014, 2 years.
To think, yeah, that's an interesting thing. To think if this guy, if no one had reported this, if no one had filmed this crime, if no one had filmed this at all, would have been completely free. These guys would not have even had to worry about this, because no one would have known this happened. Like, that's insane to think about. That's insane.
After the executions on sea. Without the cell phone, this would have been never known by anyone other than the perpetrators themselves, which is honestly very shocking. It is obvious that similar crimes happen frequently, without anyone taking notice or reporting the crime. Deckhands on the ship from which the video was shot told a private investigator, and later a documentary crew on camera, that they witnessed a similar slaughter a week before this incident. The ship itself was a Taiwanese flag ship called Pingshin 101. The captain at the time of the attack is a guy that goes by Wang Feng Yu, and has been arrested by prosecutors during the investigation. It's interesting as to how investigators identified the ship and the perpetrators. The ship in the footage was compared with images in a maritime database, pretty much confirming that it must be a Pingshin 101. The deckhands were identified through Facebook and other social media platforms where they had discussed their time on board. The same people then just revealed who the captain of the ship was. As for the victims, there are only theories. One theory is that the victims appear to be a part of a failed pirate attack. However, the claim of piracy has been used many times to justify the slaughter of people on open sea. A different theory entails that the victims might have been crew members who were disrespectful or in any way rebellious, thieves caught stealing, or rival fishermen. Whatever the reason might be, we need to keep in mind that all of these men did not pose a threat.
I'm about to say, piracy does not give not justification. We don't know, like, well, I understand the thought process. Maybe these guys will jump in on, maybe try to commit a thing. Once they surrender to you, you don't need to fire into the water. There's no justification for a heartless, senseless murder like this. There's none.
And were unarmed and defenseless.
Yeah.
Also, why would they laugh and pose for photos after taking their lives? It just doesn't really add up. In around 2018, a guy that went by Arab Andy went outside to livestream. During his livestream, viewers were able to donate and add a text message to the donation. The streamer had a loudspeaker installed, which would read out the donation message. That this doesn't seem to be the brightest idea is clear, especially considering the nature of some Twitch communities.
No, yeah, that's not, I think about it, that's not a good idea. No, don't do that. Don't do that ever. That helped with the girl, that won't help in general. Don't do that fully, because there are some people who will take advantage and cause a problem very quickly. Just they'll put in something that's just completely wrong and it will cause many problems for him.
Still, how horribly this went was very unexpected. During a live stream in 2018, Arab Andy would go into a building at a university in Washington and joined a meeting of some sort. I'll play the clip since it's way better than me explaining it.
Attention.
I love how the guy donated $4.20 before doing this. That is somewhat funny to me. That's funny.
Sensor has been successfully activated. Bomb detonation countdown successfully started.
Normally you would try to escape from the situation as soon as possible, but this streamer decided against it. He stayed in the area and filmed the reaction of other students outside of the building. I can't show his livestream chat here since they are spamming the N-word, but even they are telling him to get out of there. Interesting is also his reaction to the entire thing. He pretends like it's not his responsibility and not his mistake that this happened.
The guy just thinks he's innocent. You guys think he's just good? Oh no, it's someone else's fault. Not mine, you can be fine. It's all good. See, now I can go, right? No man, they're going to, you might go to jail for that.
Happened, and wonders why everyone took it so seriously.
Dude, I was just gonna do they legit pulled fire on because someone donated text-to-speech. I mean, I didn't even say it. That's the thing. Someone donated, and they took that shit so serious.
Eventually police confronted him, leading to his arrest. There's also a clip of that.
Wait, what's going on? Oh wait, I'm recording, bro. I'm doing a movie. What are you doing, bro? Put the gun down. Put the gun down. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
I know you can argue that this wasn't his fault, but rather the fault of the person that donated, but it's maybe important to reflect on the entire career of Arab Andy. The streamer's online presence was extremely short-lived.
He's a guy who's probably wanting to thrive off chaos. Like, he uses the texting and thrives off the chaos.
He basically had all of his success in a month before he was arrested. He initially gained a following after appearing in one of Ice Poseidon's streams, another former live streamer, who would do streams outside. Anyway, there was a running gag in the community. To my understanding, they would basically give people names based on ethnicity or looks. That's why they gave him the name Arab Andy. Arab Andy was enjoying the fame and accepted this persona for clout. He did a bunch of toxic stuff, for example going to Muslims and letting his viewers donate to him to play songs out loud, clearly feeding stereotypes. He even went ahead and named his YouTube channel ISIS Poseidon.
I'm glad you're in jail. You're a dipshit who needs to go to jail. I am so glad your ass is in jail.
So yeah, he really wanted the attention. There were numerous cases where he got assaulted, confronted by police or threatened because of the donation sounds, but he always kept on going. There are also extremely uncomfortable clips, for instance here in a university where someone donated to blast the N-word in a lecture.
Okay, alright, Matt, can I put it down?
Can you not be on it?
Yeah, sure.
What's that?
Stop recording me. Stop recording me.
My bad.
My class, so you can record my class?
Here's what I would have done. I would rip that camera or phone out of his hand and smack the shit out of him. And smack the living day shit out of him. He's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked by every person in that place. He's lucky.
Okay, but you have to ask my permission?
My bad, sir.
I prefer if it was live.
Yeah, my bad. I'm alive. I just was on live. I just saw your class, so.
So So you're not in this class?
I am. I just registered today.
You registered for this class today?
Yeah.
You can't register for a class in the middle of class.
And they told me that at the office, dude.
Who are you and why are you here?
At this point,
I like that. So he went in there, they did it, and then this, so this professor who's in this class is come annoyed with him because he knows he's not part of this class. So he's just here to cause shit. So he's confronting him.
it's very difficult to feel empathy for him.
Oh
He has
no!
numerous instances to understand that what he's doing is very risky and could go horribly wrong. And so, as a consequence, he got a probation of 2 years and wasn't allowed to continue streaming. He also says here that the Arab anti-persona was the greatest time of his life, which honestly sounds really sad.
You know, it's okay. It really did change my life, man. It was the best time of my life. Most greatest thing I've ever done.
After 2 years, however, he started coming back to YouTube and also admitted that his viewers just didn't have his best intentions in mind and that he just was immature. Well, due to him being away for so long and changing his content drastically, he just couldn't garner a large audience and quit his channel. He seems to be doing good though, so I think he just moved on. This one was captured on a dash cam in Australia. While driving on the highway, a car can be seen in the side view mirror, speeding and coming close. The car drives in front of him, and a guy can be seen waving with an axe. The victims can be heard in this footage, so let's have a quick look.
Look at this. This is insanity. This is insanity, what this is going on here. Like, there was nothing that could have happened here that could have caused the man to chase someone and stick an axe out the window trying to hit the car.
What are you doing? Oh, keep distance, bro.
After a quick halt, the man was most likely insulting them. Anyway, they decided to go for a U-turn to escape, but this definitely didn't go according to plan. The perpetrator continues pursuing the car. Eventually, while the guy slowed down the car because of the intersection in front of him, this happened.
Whoa! Keep driving, holy!
Man, call the cops.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Oh, keep going. Just keep. Oh my god!
Hell.
After hitting the
Good job, you crashed your car. You hit him so hard that you screwed your own car up. And you lost control of your own car. Good job, you crazy dipshits.
car once, the perpetrator does it again, which sends him off the road, giving the victims the opportunity to escape. They immediately drove to a police station and reported the incident. Police managed to find the vehicle in question and arrested the driver. As for his motives, the attacker was convinced that they robbed his house, even though they never saw the man in their life. The guys in the car also added in a YouTube comment that their car is limited to 180 kilometers per hour, which made it impossible for them to outrun the attacker. They also refused going into the tunnel to avoid the risk of a collision. In the end, the attacker was charged for multiple offenses and put behind bars for 2 years.
Good.
On the 20th of April this year, 2 armed men burst into a house in Pasadena, Texas. In the video, one young girl can be seen lying face down on the living room floor alongside a male friend. This horrifying moment was captured by the Ring doorbell, and the parents watched their daughter and friends being held face down at gunpoint through the app. The home invaders point a machine gun at the parents' niece, daughter and their daughter's friend as they rob the home and threaten to take their lives. The man with the gun picks up one of the girls by the hair and pushes her out of the room with the weapon at her back while saying, The parents spoke to the home invaders through the security camera's microphone, telling them police were on the way and to get out of their house.
Hey, who's in my house? I got you on camera.
The cops are on the way.
The cops are on their way.
My neighbors.
My neighbors are there. They're calling the cops right now. Y'all better get out of my house.
The couple was able to scare off the armed suspects by speaking to them, but not before they looted the home and left.
I'm about to say, like, in reality, right? Let's straight be honest here. They're not gonna come. They're not gonna rush out of there. You're screaming through a thing, but like, they're in control. They got guns and thing. You ain't gonna do nothing really to stop them, because they're in control, because they have the guns with the people.
the terrified kids with the warning that if they move, they'll shoot. Later, the parents claimed that the suspect used the niece to get entry before robbing the home. They shared the footage on Facebook. The police also confirmed this on Facebook, but you can clearly see that the police is upset that the parents decided to share this footage on social media first, and only later with police. This made the investigation more complicated and resulted in undue panic among several citizens. In the end, no one was harmed, but the situation was definitely extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Due to the very recent nature of this case, the perpetrators are still on the run and weren't caught nor identified.
That's insane. That's terrifying to think. They're still out there, they're still on the run, they're still doing their own thing. An odd attempt.
Somewhere in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, a person wearing a Nike basketball cap, a dark-colored hoodie, grey cargo pants, and a bright yellow reflective safety vest, carrying a messenger bag, was captured by a Ring doorbell camera at a door. The homeowner got a motion alert on his phone from the Ring doorbell camera, but wasn't suspicious due to him being dressed like an ordinary telecom worker in the area. However, when the man started looking into the house through the window on the door and banged multiple times on the door, his suspicion was quickly aroused. The man can be seen using a glove to open the door in the footage, presumably to not leave any fingerprints behind. He pulls out a walkie-talkie to communicate to someone, even making a gesture to come. Another guy steps up. At this point they witness a camera, but still continue. The guy in the vest now tries to break in with a screwdriver. The other guy turns around and acts as a lookout. The guy with the vest almost opens the door, but then this happens.
Get away from the door.
Never mind. I was gonna say this is the worst break-in attempt I've ever seen. No, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. This is not. But this is a bad attempt.
The video was later shared on Facebook and many people claimed to know the perpetrators. What happened to the thieves is somewhat unclear. I couldn't manage to find an update. It's likely that they have been caught by the police.
Probably. Candy salesman.
On the 9th of March this year in Stockton, California, a guy can be seen selling candy to a 39-year-old woman at her front door. The homeowner would open the door for him. During the interaction, multiple fully armed men showed up behind him and robbed the house. It was a pretty nasty setup. The goal was to get the homeowner's trust to make her open the door. They took her stuff and ran away. Interestingly, this wasn't the first attempt from the supposed candy salesman. He was captured just a few minutes before the incident by a different Ring doorbell camera, trying the same stuff.
To think they go that far to try to rob someone, like this is insane that they just keep going this far to try to rob people. There's got no reason to. Like, it's messed up.
This homeowner, however, decided to not open the door. He also can be witnessed going to the other house, but this homeowner also decided to not open their doors. This is a very recent case, and the perpetrators were never caught. And so this is an update on a topic that I covered in episode 5 of this format. It's about a boy named Jimmy Ryan. If you aren't aware or forgot, it was basically a recommendation from a viewer, and he sent me a Reddit link. The OP shared a link to a video of a boy named Jimmy Ryan, and the video states that his father was documenting his case in order to show malpractice in the Japanese military. The video makes a lot of disturbing claims, along with displaying some unsettling footage of the child clinging to life in a hospital bed. Jimmy has band-aids covering his mouth and eyes. The father states that the boy has a high fever and freezing cold hands. Yellow, white and red text is overlaid on top of the footage, discussing the alleged corruption of the Japanese authorities, who seem to be trying to cover up the boy's condition as a medical accident, while also trying to shift blame onto the father. As the video progresses, it is revealed that Jimmy's eyes seem to be in a permanent state of his eyes rolling to the back of his head, and his mouth is slightly open. We later learn that Jimmy is disfigured. His hips and shoulders are broken, causing his rib cage to collapse on his lungs. The entire thing was odd, and there were a bunch of claims from the father and a few inconsistencies. I thought it was still an interesting topic to look into. After a few weeks of the video going live, the father reached out to me. Let me read out the initial portion of his email. My name is James Ryan, father of Jimmy.
Hold on, so I'm going to read this myself. So, my name is James Ryan, father of Jimmy Ryan in your video. We are being severely prosecuted because we are whistleblowers. I'm grateful for you mentioning our son, but you are putting our family in grave danger. Could you please help my son? All we need is transparency, and I can save his life. Please forgive the quick email that may seem not organized, but I promise you that everything I say is backed by gigabytes of viewable evidence that the FBI and State Department dangerously cover up in grave violation of international law, and deliberately and recklessly will not provide safe, life-saving measures to my son. When something was being brutally tortured and then because of felony murder of my son.
Jimmy Ryan in your video. We are being severely persecuted because we are whistleblowers. I'm grateful for you mentioning our son, but you're putting our family in grave danger. Could you please help my son? All we need is transparency, and I can save his life. Please forgive the quick email that may not seem organized.
Oh, it says when they knew he was being brutally tortured. Okay. That will knowingly cause the felony murder of my son.
But I promise you that everything I say is backed by gigabytes of irrefutable evidence that the FBI and State Department dangerously cover up in grave violation of international law, and deliberately and recklessly will not provide life-saving measures for my son when they knew he was being brutally tortured, that will knowingly cause the felony murder of my son. Attached was a huge info dump, too much to go through for an individual person. I basically responded to him saying that they are inconsistent.
Hello, there's a massive dump of information. I can look into this and cover the topic again and bring more exposure to the topic. However, what about the websites? They clearly are fake. The founders are not real people and the addresses seem fake. I would also highly recommend trying to summarize the key points of your information as concise as possible, since it's honestly too much to digest. For me, as a person that isn't directly involved in your case, I'm skeptical of a few aspects of your story. Like I said, I will still cover this again in a future video, but I need more concise information.
In the story. The website is fake, the founders are fake, and there is no real evidence in the stuff I looked into. He made more concise emails after this, but it's still way too much for me to comprehend. A few months later, he emailed me again, telling me that he's doing a short documentary on this case. In any case, I thought I'd make an update on this. However, I think this will be my last update on this topic. Yo, we reached the end. Thanks a lot for watching.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think of these stories in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all for the next one.